Hi guys, this is Jill, and I wanted to do a little bit of a training video on Cinchshare just to take a look at a couple of features that I'm not sure everybody is familiar with or has used. One of them is batch posting, and then also a find and replace tool that goes really well with the batch posting to make your life so much easier. So what we're going to do here, if you're familiar with Cinchshare, then you know what this screen is. This is where you would make a post. You would type your text in here, you'd come down here and add a picture, you would go over here and pick what party or group or page, whatever you want it to go into, pick your day and your time, and say schedule post, and it would take care of that. So what I want to do actually though is look at batch posting that allows you to reuse previous posts into another party or another page. So in doing that, I'm going to come down to this screen here, and if you're just not that familiar with Cinchshare, then you're going to want to go back and look at either an earlier one that I've made or some of the Cinchshare tutorials. If you come down here, they've got a ton of training things and answers to your questions, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to go into those details. But what I'm going to do is come over here to this where it says Manage Post Library and click on that. And this shows you a few different things. Where we have a history, it is the history literally of everything you have ever posted in Cinchshare, with the most recent thing first. So for example, this post right here just went up literally a minute ago into some parties that I have going on right now. And if you were to scroll all the way down, it would have them from, I don't know, whenever I first started using Cinchshare. If you come to pending, then it's saying you don't have any scheduled posts. I don't have anything scheduled to go into anything happening right now. In either of those cases, whether you're doing history or pending, you can choose what you want to look at. So if I come up here, I can type in, just the top one here is Carolyn's Prep and a Pinch Party. So this is the history of this party that I did last fall and all the posts that went into Carolyn's party. This one over here that says save, not going to get into that right now, but that is what it sounds like, where you can save a post. Particularly you can categorize them and then be able to go back and find them later, but they're not actually posting into anything. It's just sort of a holding place for them. So we're going to come back to history, and what I'm going to do is show you if I wanted to repost everything from one party into another party, rather than having to, do them one at a time individually or decide all kinds of new things to do. So much easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the party I want to take. So I'm going to just start with this one, Kylie's Pampered Chef Party. That was a couple months ago. So this shows you, again, it's the history, everything that posted into her party. So now this is a complete one because it's a show that has ended. Sometimes you might be just doing partial things, but this is one that ended and has everything showing in the history. Now you can select individual posts like this. So if you are wanting to just do a little bit, sometimes I'll do that. I'll come down to the beginning and say, I don't know that I want to use the whole party, but I'm going to use the first 2 days because those are pretty much the same in every party that I do. So I might come down and say, let me just, click on these, maybe first 8 or so posts, because those I want to use in the first part of my party, and I'm going to get the ball rolling with that. But in this case, I'm going to say I'm going to post the entire party. So if you come over here where these 3 lines are and click on that, you can select all. So that's selected everything from Kylie's party. And then I'm going to say, under the same 3-line little menu, batch post. Then we're going to come over here, and it gives you a screen where you're taking all of those posts, they're shown here, and you're going to schedule them very much like you do to set up an initial post, where you pick the date and the time and what group or page you want them to go into. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say I want all this to start posting tomorrow. I would have in that case kind of taken a look at the first day. I know that normally I post the first post on the first day at about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to say, well, we'll start this tomorrow. We'll start it at, say 10 o'clock. It's going to be 10 minutes after 10 a.m. on tomorrow, Thursday the 4th. And I'm going to, just for this purpose, since we don't actually have I'm using my Jill's Secret stuff. This was something that I mentioned earlier in the Tech and Social group about having a group that it's just a private group. You're the only one in it, unless you want to open it up to somebody else. But I just have this with only me in it, and it's just kind of a holding place for different things that I want to have on Facebook, but not posted into anything else. So just as a practice run, that's what we're going to do here. Excuse me. So I've chosen where I want it to go and when I want it to go, and I'm going to click Apply Interval. It doesn't actually go anywhere yet. It shows you over here the date and the times that these are going to show up. Because sometimes once you've done that, you want to make adjustments, okay? And come in here and say, well, I'd actually like to switch these around, or I'm going to delete that one, which you would do with this little X here. Or I just want to change some of the times. Whatever you might want to do. Once you have that set up the way you want, then you come over here and you click Schedule Batch. So that has taken all of the things that were in Kylie's party and posted them, or scheduled them rather, to go into Jill's secret stuff. Now, under the pending window here, everything that's on here is the stuff that I just batch posted to put into the other group. There isn't anything else scheduled, so that's the only one there. If there was, then I would come up here and I might type in, Jill's secret stuff if I wanted to only look at the things that I had just batch posted. So now you've got that all ready to go, and that might be the only thing that you need to do, except that for most people, some of the posts in a party are going to have some sort of personalized information. Some are going to have the host name, maybe a date, like a closing date that doesn't make sense. It might have the link. I mean, in fact, you want to have a lot of links in a lot of the posts that you do in a virtual party so that people can very easily get to your website, get to the show page, and do some shopping. So rather than going into each individual one, then you're going to be able to find and replace the things that need to be kind of personalized. So for example, this is one of the first things that I post, this bonus tickets thing. I'm just going to click on that little pencil to open it up and take a look at it. So this says, we'll get the party officially started on Wednesday morning. Now it could be that your timing is such that it's not going to be Wednesday morning. Maybe you've changed it up a little bit and it's not what you would typically do, and that's something you want to change. You could change it manually, and that's not too big of a deal for one word like that. But down here we also have the show page URL. Okay, so here's the link that people are going to have. If this was the only post in the whole party that was in, it'd be easy to change it manually. But it's not, and I don't want to have to go in to every post, try to remember which ones have a link, and figure out what I need to do and where I need to update that. This also has a date on it. This is the date that, about the time chart shows or cards are going to be charged for orders. Now, I'm not on direct ship now, so everything gets charged at the same time all together at the end of the show. So that's included in here. So what I want to do instead is have it update everything that needs to be updated. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I am going to change this. If I want to change that to Tuesday, I would do that here. And probably would also change this October 16th date, because as far as I can remember, this is the only post that has those bits of information in the whole party. So I would just do that here manually and not worry about it. But I'm not going to do that with the link because there are others that have that too, and I want to do it all together. So I'm going to just click Schedule Post and then come over here and say yes, that I want to return to the post library. And then I'm going to come back over to these three little lines here and click on them and say Select All, because I want it to look at every post that's in the party and check for a link. And then come back over here and click Find and Replace. Then what I want to do is I'm going to look at this and say, okay, what was in there was Kylie's link here. It says Kylie 2017. And I want to replace it with the new show link. So for example, I would say Kylie 2017, and then it might be, Jill 2018. Whatever that ending part is on your show page link. It's always pamperedchef.com/go/something. Either the random assortment of letters that they assign to it as a default or whatever you personalized it to. I'm going to say match whole word because I want it to take every place that it finds that and replace it with this. And then say search. Now what you can do is come on down here, everywhere that it found it, it's going to highlight it in red, it's going to replace it and put it in yellow over here. Sometimes it'll go for a long time without any links, but then you can see how it is here and being replaced. And any place else that's in the party, it's going to take care of all that. So you go all the way to the end and you click Update Posts. Now the other thing that's on some of these posts I want to change is Kylie's name. And so I'm going to do the same thing. You'll notice it still has selected everything. I'm going to go back under here to Find and Replace. And this time I'm just going to put Kylie and Jill. Oops. Fix that. There we go. Again, match whole word and search. So if you take a scroll down here, you can see the spots. Oh, there's one where it had her name. There's another one, and it's replacing it with my name. not as many things that have her name in. There are some as we get to the end saying thank you, or if you live near Kylie or what have you, but any place that her name is in there, it has now changed it to mine. So update posts. If you've been using Cinchshare for a while and you've ever had a show where you've had to go through and do all this manually, then you really understand what a lifesaver that is. So it just gives you, so much more usability for reusing things without worrying about, what's in there. Now, of course, in this case, you would still have to go through and say, what is there that doesn't make sense here? For example, I can see right off the bat, I've got a post with that pink whipped cream maker. That was, no longer available. That was from last fall. So I would need to remove that or replace it with something. You can come in, even up here, let's see. Not there. I think maybe toward the end I've got a post with the guest special, and sometimes that's in other places around too. Definitely, make sure you change that up, which you can do by just clicking the pencil little icon there, and it would open up, and you can change the picture, change any wording that doesn't make sense anymore. Here it's already changed the length for the party, so you could just click on choose file and change that picture. Sometimes there are seasonal things that you need to still change. So, that's just a quick look through though, rather than really starting from scratch and having to come up with everything to begin with. So that is batch posting. As I said, you can do the entire thing when you're wanting to rebatch an entire show, or you can just do a few things. I could also say, well, I want to take these 4, and then I'm going to come down here and take these 3, and then I'm going to come down here and take a couple from here. And then once I get to the spot where it has them ready, it has applied that scheduling, I can change the times and dates and move them around and do some different things. So that's batch posting and find and replace. As I said, you're going to find both of those over here and can, really make them work for you. Hopefully this has been helpful and something that you'll find useful. If you have any questions, of course, give me a call, text, post them on comments, on the post where I put this video, and, you can let me know if there's something that doesn't make sense or that you'd like to know a little bit more about. So there you go. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.